You know, this is having YouTube and making videos like this is the best thing if you're self-isolating, you know? Thing is that I'm always self-isolating. Willem goes to the grocery store for me all the time. Except I do go to church things, but not anymore, not now, for a month or whatever it is. I realized as I was eating, I had some containers of fruit, and I was realizing as I would walk by the room and I would eat one, and I realized how many times I did that in a day. And I thought, this fruit may have to last me for a month, but probably stores are going to be open, and they've got these new hours for seniors, I guess. Um, I think that the independent in Canada, good morning, Bridget. How are you doing this morning? What's self-isolating like for you? Or do you have to go to work? What's up? Good morning, everybody. Nice to see that somebody is seeing and there. There's not a lot going on here now. Just talking. It's early in the morning. The children and Elida have moved out, so I have the whole upstairs room here. I put the bed that was at the end of the room in the living room. This is where it belongs. It's upstairs. It actually belongs in the next room as a guest bed. But I gotta put it in here. So, what am I doing when I'm self-isolating? I guess it's kind of, sometimes I'm tired of being at home. Like, I don't ever want to be in the house. No work, all quiet. It's St. Patrick's Day. Oh, yeah, my mother's birthday was tomorrow. She would always wear her St. Patrick's Day stuff on her birthday. Well, it's supposed to be a big night at the pubs, but I don't think anybody will go to pubs now. I don't go anyway, unless my daughter's singing. So, what should we talk about? Oh, yeah. So, I'm hanging out here. I'm not going to the stores, and they say you should help each other. Well, how do you help each other when you're self-isolating? How do you do that when you don't go anywhere and see anybody? So, we can go for walks down the highway and waving at everybody. Yeah, figured. Same here in Canada. Everything's shut down. Except the grocery stores are still open and they're being stocked and refilled, and it's crazy out there. I mean, I didn't see crazy behavior when I was in the store. And for the most part, most of the people I saw just had an armful of stuff. Just a very few things. But I hadn't been to the store for a couple months, maybe 3 months. Willem has been buying all the groceries all the time. So, I mean, I've been other places. Like I went to Georgia. Did any of you go look at my mother's house when it was on the market? Anyway, I like these sheets or blankets on here. These walls were all covered with paintings. My daughter's an artist. But now she's taken most of them away. And I have all these places for paintings. I could actually put some of those beautiful paintings on these walls. There's lots of room. Seems like the windows in here are not as close together as the windows downstairs. See, I could put a painting there. All these spots, all these walls now. So, good morning. I see 3 of you are watching. I don't have anything to say. It's just terrible. You have to say something. You have to get me going. I was on a big roll. I was really busy getting my unpacking all the stuff from my mother's and repacking it and putting it away. And then I think it started to thaw outside. So I've been out chopping ice for days. We still have a bunch of ice on one deck, the one in the north side of the house, is full of ice. But it's getting shorter. It's like this deep in the highest place now. It's tapering down. I keep walking along the edges of it and stepping on it, and it breaks these big chunks off as it melts on the deck underneath and on top till you flatten it down. I don't know. She's in her 80s. I don't know. Almost 90, I guess. I don't remember. I didn't know it then either. Anyway, I have all these things that I like to do at home, but I haven't been doing any of them lately. Been doing a lot of sitting around, except I have, since the marsh woods is frozen. Let me tell you a little bit about the marsh woods. Now, picture a forest of fir trees, mostly spruce, cedar. And then a dam gets built 23 years ago, and then it backs up the water and it floods the whole forest. Most of the trees fall down, except the balsam firs and the ones that are young and green, which are, like maybe 20 feet high or less, or 15 feet high or less. All that stays. And because you've got a hill, it's surrounded by these hills, which are like a bowl. It's a hollow. And because of that, you have a lot of water that flows through, because there's a stream on one side and stream on the other side. So most of the marsh woods is there's a stream on one side, the stream on the other side by the hill. So the road is up there. Stream, road, other stream is down there by the road. That's the one you all know about. This is a new stream. So you go up along the property line, which I made a clear sighting on, so you can just stand there and see all the way to the pole. There's a huge pole there, which was a great thing for sighting. Anyway, so I made this survey line right through along the one stream, and the stream curves and it goes all the way along the woods, the hill as a bowl, right? And then there's a dam, which is the original dam from that. And the dam has a trench along it because the beavers always channel in order to they lift out the dirt and make it onto their dam. And I've been washing my hands with a nail brush all the time. My nails still get dirty. How can they get dirty? I don't do anything. Anyway, I'm always washing them with my nail brush. And now the children aren't here, there's very little dishes, and nothing changes. So when the house is tidy, it's staying tidy. It's really kind of cool that it just stays tidy. But then it becomes like a room you walk through. But that's okay. I like these tidy rooms. I've kind of made a mess up here. Planted some seeds and they didn't germinate yet, and I don't know if that means that the seeds were duds or if I did it wrong. Oh well, we'll try. We'll see what we get. So, survey line and stream. That's called the Marshwood Stream. And then it turns and it comes towards me, or towards our house, towards the moat, and it comes almost to the moat, and then there's a dam. And the dam curves, goes into the main long stream. But when it curves, there's a big tree there with a big root sticking up. So the root is now like this, completely blocking the whole channel. Oh, well, making hand sanitizer, I guess that's water and 70% alcohol. Isn't that it? Something like that. I guess people can't make soap, can they? Look, I have a really nice bar of soap. It was from, what is that name of her farm? Her goat milk. Anyway, my friend Rose down there in North Carolina I have videos about her. We stopped and met on the highway. I gave her a hammock, and then we carried on going to Georgia. This years ago. I remember everything about her. But anyway, so I had a bar of her soap she gave me years ago. I guess we traded soap when we were making soap. She still does, I think. And this really does affect everybody, doesn't it? People that sell soap at a market now, who will go to markets? Will people go to markets? If they're open air, you should be all right, right? Because the germs don't go straight towards you. You can wear a mask and be protected. I mean, I have a cold now. But that's from getting my feet wet when I'm in the marsh woods. So I was going to tell you about the terrain in there. So if you picture in there all the trees, 60-foot trees, a bit, foot across and bigger, they were all falling down, every which way, every which way. So you can't walk very far. But when the snow came, let's see, last year or the year before, Ben came over with his chainsaw and his whippersnipper and helped me create paths along the road, along the stream, the lower stream. And that's the usual stream. And so I used the chainsaw and I went through the woods and I cut the logs. You see, this is a really good thing to do. It keeps your mind totally off of the world and what's happening out there. You have to really get into something at home. I think it's still pretty new, this idea of self-isolating, and people are still in this mad rush to prepare for the holiday, right? You got to get all your food on hand, and I think you can still drive your cars all over the place as long as you don't have anything to do with other people. And when you stock up on gas, use your card and use a wipe on the handle or wear gloves or something. Using a wipe is probably a good idea. I don't know how long germs can live outside here now because it's freezing and the weather's all over the place. Anyway, but you can go for a Sunday drive. I mean, it won't be on Sunday. It could be every day. I wouldn't go driving around in a big city, I don't think, in case you get in an accident and you have to deal with people. Well, maybe you could. You could do what you want. I do what I want. So you can too. I digress. I'm thinking of something that I can't talk about. You know, all those thoughts you have about things that have happened and people involved in them, and you can't talk about all that with everybody else. But it's sure nice to be able to go on here and have a visit, except nobody's saying anything. Oh, look. Oh, here somebody has. Good morning. No work. It's St. Patrick's Day. Pub's all closed. No mass either. Lovely room. What age was your mother? Hi. Do you know how to make sand? We can walk, drive on beach, but it's cold. Oh, so you live on a beach. How nice. Yeah, it's cold, but it's not winter anymore. And maybe you're on the shoulder season. Are you down under? Is it going to become winter? I think that it's so nice because people are usually busy in their gardens all summer. I mean, most things sort of shut down anyway because everybody's outside and doesn't have time to go to things like our local art stuff and whatever. But I should get myself into something. Like I should get an interest. I have this project going. I've set up my loom in the living room, and I have all that, those rushes on the deck, and they got snowed on. I put them there one day, and then that second day after, I went to Mary Jane's, and so they got snowed on, under about a foot of snow, and I was able to pull them out of the snow, and they were damp, and that was okay because then I wiped them and get all the little black dots off of them, and then make them work them in my rug. But then sing or smile. Is that what that was? Yeah, I have. We have to have church at home now, and our church is it's different than the rest of them. We have this. We have a prophet, and he told us they've got this manual for us now, where we study it at home and come under Christ. And all throughout the manual, like it's also dated, so everybody in the whole world is on these two on this assignment this week. So then we talk about it, and but what mostly is that we study it every day, and we break. Oh, a singing app. Oh, really? Sing on Smule, Smule. Interesting. Yeah, that's a nice thing. You can, you should explore your OK Google or Alexa or whatever you've got, because you can ask them to tell you a joke. That's really cool. They told us a joke the other day, and I laughed and laughed. It was great. I said, "Okay, Google, tell me a joke." Is she telling you a joke? Hey, Alexa, tell a joke. Anyway, so in the marsh woods, it's not like it's flat in there, although it is a flat land. It's a fen. There's always water running under it. And there's puddles because at the base of all the trees, it's sort of indentation. I don't understand why, but I think I read that cedar trees push themselves up out of the ground. I know they do that with those ones that start with M, or cypress. Those mandrake, is that the name of a tree? Or those are the plants. You pull them up and they've got angry little people on the end of them. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Harry Potter. I digress. I think the best thing is comedy. First of all, you don't need to be afraid. I am concerned that I will run out of food. I have tons of food. So I can imagine I'm going to run out of apples and oranges and stuff like that. I have frozen blueberries, lots of frozen blueberries. That should last, but I've always got lots of stuff in the freezer. Try and keep my freezer full all the time, and all my jars of dried foods. And if you have dried foods and you never use them, red lentils are so easy. They're just so simple. You take equal water, bring them to a boil, do you let them sit for 15 minutes? It's like rice. I think you just let them sit for 15 minutes. Maybe you boil them. I do it in my Instant Pot. I had Willem get a lot of potatoes the other day. See, now, is that hoarding? Was that a bad thing? I think we all know we're in for the long haul. I don't know. Am I supposed to feel guilty that I got more than one bag of potatoes? I guess now I would be guilty if I got the last 2 bags of potatoes or something that are on there. But when we got them, there was tons, right? The stores were all full. I sent Willem for potatoes. It was just like regular groceries, except I said to get more potatoes. Anyway, so here we have guilt. Now, we're supposed to help each other, right? That's the idea. To don't get infected and help each other. Well, how do you help each other if you if you don't see each other? I have letters. I can write letters now. And I have a fountain pen. I can soak up the ink and I can write letters. I can't wait. Except I'm going to make a mess of that ink all over. We used to have the cartridges that would go in our fountain pens. I saw somebody squeezing the cartridge on a movie, and they let go, and then the ink came back up into the cartridge. I've always just thrown them away when they're empty. Searched for a new one. I don't know if you could buy them anymore. It was so cool in my mother's house. There were tons of them. They were everywhere. All this stuff. I thought I was bringing home lots of stuff. I had sorted things and had them all in this rack, this bookcase by the stairs. It was full of all the books that I wanted to take. There were drawing books and everything. And I had them down there, and I'd been going through it. And then the sale showed up, and I said, yeah, go in the basement. There's, go whatever you can find. It's okay. Well, it turns out I had all that stuff that I hadn't packed, and it all went. I saw people carrying all these precious things away. But at the time, I didn't think I had room to bring anything. I didn't know I was going to have a truck and have lots of room. I could have saved so many things. There were all these beautiful teapots in our china cabinet, gorgeous teapots. And I suggested people take them. Here, take this. Do you want this? Look, it's cheap, $5 less. Take it. I just didn't want them going in the dumpster. They were too beautiful. But now I wish I had them. Oh well. At least I went down and got things, It's nice to surround yourself with memories. Surround yourself with things that make you think of other things. For me, I don't know how men do it, this empty box thing. If I have no thoughts for a while, if I'm just sitting there, I get totally bored. I mean, I need to think about something. I need some input. I can take my scriptures with me if I want, and at least I can open them and read something. Sometimes I go through things in my mind, memories I've got. Sometimes I will, like the endowment, I will rehearse that in my mind. All these different parts, I'll just say it all over in my mind. And that is quite an uplifting thing. It puts me right back on the track. I don't really have a schedule. I've never really had a schedule. I'm not sure I like schedules. Willem and I are trying to do a schedule lately. Hi, I'm upstairs. He was wondering where I am because it's raining outside. And when I'm not in the house, I usually go. Oh, he's coming up. Uh-oh, I may have to stop. Hello, Willem.
Yeah,
You're coming to check on me, are you?
yeah.
We'll see where I am located.
Mm-hmm.
All right, are you going to stay for a while?
Sure.
Okay, well, I'll turn this off. Goodbye, folks.